Yo guys, Crescent here. Welcome to my Magicka Templar build video. I've been farming the Wolfhunter set for my new build, but unfortunately I couldn't get the set, so I kinda like adjusted my build accordingly to what I have at the moment. And I'm just gonna show you the build I have in mind as well for the new patch. So there's gonna be two builds for this build video. Okay, let's get it started. So I'm gonna show you the first build, what I'm using now. This build could work in CP and non-CP campaign, both are. In both campaign, this build is still really strong. Okay, so the first thing we'll be using is Vulcan's Courier, just your really good set for Magicka Templar, because we have a lot of dots. So I'm having both impenetrable, one light, one medium, both with maximum Magicka glyph. You can use tri-stack glyph here, doesn't really change much. And the second set we'll be using is the good old fortified breast set. So we'll be using heavy on the body, light on the hands, gloves, belt, feet, legs. So one heavy, one medium, 5 light, this build is. So everything is impenetrable, 7 impenetrable trait, and everything is maximum Magicka glyphs. You could use tri-stack glyph on the big pieces if you want, but it's optional, totally up to you. Okay, so those are the two sets. The third set we'll be using is the Burning Spellweave set. This set will give you about 500 plus spell damage, which is really nice, mainly because as a Templar you will receive minor sorcery from Vampire's Bane, and then you will receive major sorcery from Degeneration, so you can push up your spell damage higher than any other Magicka class. So we will be using 1 reduced cost and 2 Magicka recovery on this on the jewelry, so everything is in arcane. So 3 pieces of Burning Spellweave and 1 Inferno Staff with either Nirnhorn or Sharpen trait, mainly because we'll be using poisons, double dot poisons to proc Scoria more efficiently. So be either Nirnhorn or Sharpen on the front bar. On the back bar, you could definitely go for Burning Spellweave 2-piece on the sword and board bar, but I'm using Leech. You can use any other 2-piece set that gives you maximum Magicka recovery. So I'm using just 2 pieces of Leech, and the trait, it should be powered trait on the axe or on the sword, and you want to use on the shield sturdy trait with maximum Magicka enchantment. So this is the build. Overall, really solid build. Could work in both campaigns, could work in battlegrounds as well. Just really high sustain. Sustain is decent, I wouldn't say really high, but your damage is decent, and defensively you are really tanky. Okay, I'll tell you the second build, then I'll go into the stat sheet and everything. The build I actually have in mind is I'll be dropping Scoria for the second build. You'll be using a defensive monster helm like Bloodspawn or a Pirate Skeleton. So you won't be using Scoria, and instead of using front bar in Burning Spellweave, you'll be using 5 Burning Spellweave on the body. So you want to have heavy helm, medium shoulder, bone pirate, Pirate Skeleton, sorry, and 5 pieces of Burning Spellweave on the body. And then you want to use Jewelry Wolfhunter set. I'll show you. So this set will give you close to 600 spell damage, which is really powerful if you gold it. So you'll be using Wolfhunter set on the jewelry, and on the front bar Wolfhunter set, and on the back bar you can use like a Leech set or something that gives you Magicka recovery, or even something that gives you physical resistance is pretty good as well. So that is the set I have in mind, but unfortunately I don't have the Inferno Staff for Wolfhunter. I only have the Lightning Staff, which is not good because my plan is to use Burning Spellweave. So with Burning Spellweave you need to do flame damage, and Lightning Staff is not going to do any flame damage. That's why I still can't make that build out, because I just have really shitty RNG luck from all the drops. Okay, so that is the second set I have in mind, but hopefully I'll get the Inferno stuff soon, so I can show you that setup. Okay, now I will show you the tooltip of this build. Okay, it procced. So you can see the spell damage is about 3.2k, 3.1k. Spell crit is 45.7%. My foot is down, so my resource is really low. Okay, so my maximum Magicka on the front bar is 36k, health is about 24k in Citadel, stamina is 14k plus, recovery is about 16k or so. So overall, really decent stats. This is on the front bar, and on the back bar, I forgot to use a potion. So on the back bar, the crit is a bit lower, only 42%. But you can see the resistance is 29k, physical 37k, spell resistance, crit resistance 2.6k. It's really powerful. Recovery is close to 2k, and yeah, overall just really solid stats. You can see. Okay, so that is for the build. Yeah, need to mention that if you use channel focus, you need to add 480 Magicka recovery to your stat sheet, so you will receive about close to 2.5k Magicka recovery in total for this build. That's why I'm not using leech, because I feel like my sustain is good enough. Even in non-CP campaign, this build has really sweet sustain actually. Okay, now I will show you the skills. So on the front bar, you're using Degeneration, Flame Reach, Jabs, Vampire's Bane, Purifying Light, and the ulti is really optional. You could use Dawnbreaker. I wouldn't say which ulti is the best build, but they all have their advantage. Like in a group play, shooting star is always better. So solo play, you could use Dawnbreaker, or you could use something like Soul and Sound is really powerful as well. And other than these 3 ulti, there's one more ulti which is going to be really strong next patch, Crescent Sweep. So Crescent Sweep is going to be what do you call that? Magicka damage in the next patch. Why is Crescent Sweep powerful? You see the tooltip is not that strong. Okay, of course the enemy in front of you takes 66 more damage, so it's close to about, I would say, 10k tooltip or so actually. But you need to remember it can proc what is that called, Burning Light. So Burning Light is a really powerful passive, because it deals 4.2k Magicka damage every 0.5 seconds with a 25% chance. So with this dot and with jabs, you can proc Burning Light really easily. That's why I feel like this ultimate next patch is gonna actually be quite useful. So those are the 4 front bar ultimates you can use, and the back bar you want to use Channel Focus, Cleanse, Extended Ritual, Honor of the Dead, Total Dark, Elusive Mist, and Spell Wall. So these 3 skills here, Channel Focus, Cleanse, and Heal, Honor of the Dead, is a must-have. Other 3 are all optional. So if you don't like Total Dark, if you want to be a bit more offensive, you can take Degeneration, put it on the back bar, and front bar you can use like Elemental Drain. So your sustain will be really good with Elemental Drain, and you can debuff your enemy, so your damage output is going to be really high. So if you want to be even more defensive, like block more, let's say you're playing in a group and people are pounding on you, you block a lot, you can use Absorb Magic, which is a really good defensive skill as well. So I would say those are the few skills that I would change around quite often. But if you want to play in a group with more AoE damage, Solar Barrage. Solar Barrage is pretty good as well. So those are the few options that I would use. And even a Radiant Glory in a small scale group could work on the front bar. So you switch it around to your liking. Okay, let me just switch it back to what I use. Usually I will use Degeneration front bar, and in a 1 react situation I will use Total Dark. And for Elusive Mist, you can drop this if you have your Siege Order skill leveled up. Channel Acceleration, so you can use Channel Acceleration for your speed, and you gain a passive a buff called Minor Force, so you deal 10% more crit damage, which is quite sweet. So this is your another option you can use. But I slightly prefer Elusive Mist because it could deroot me. I could unroot myself, so which is quite nice. The ultimate I prefer to use is Spell Wall, but you can use Devouring Swarm, which is good. Maybe Healing Ulti, which is a decent defensive ultimate if you're playing in a group. Remembrance. Yeah, I think usually I'll just use these three ultimates: Shield Wall, Remembrance in a group, or Bats for more AoE damage. So those are the skills. Now I'm gonna show you how you want to engage your enemy. So it's, to be honest, it's really simple. Alright, let me change my ultimate just back to the ultimate I'm using. Okay, so sorry about that. First thing you want to do is buff up yourself, put your Vampire's Blade, and then go into Purifying Light. So what you want to do is you want to use Degeneration first, Light Attack, Degeneration, Light Attack, Vampire's Blade, Light Attack, Purifying Light. So when these are all done, you can CC your enemy and then go into Jab, Flame Reach into Jab. So this is the basic combo. If your ultimate is ready, you do the same thing, and then if depending on what ultimate, if you're using Dawnbreaker, you can straight go into Dawnbreaker into Jabs because you get the CC down. Dawnbreaker is a stun. But if you're using something like a Soul Assault, you want to throw your Flame Reach first, animation cancel it, and then go straight into Soul Assault after the Flame Reach hit them. So same thing, buff yourself, use your Vampire's Bane, Purifying, and then throw the thing and then go into ulti. Or you could, if you are fighting a lot tankier target and a smart player, you could put all this and then you wait for your Purifying, you go into a few jabs, then only you go into Dawnbreaker, or you go into Flame Reach into Soul Assault. That is another option. So you always want to look at the counter. If you look at the bottom of my screen here, there's a 6 seconds counter, or you can just remember in your head the 6 second counter before it procs. Depending on what ultimate if you're using a channeling ultimate like Soul Assault, that channel for 3.5 seconds, you want to use it 2 or 3 seconds before the Purifying Light proc. If you're using Dawnbreaker, you want to use it 1 or 2 seconds before the Purifying Light proc. So what I can show you again. So now I just use it. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you use your ulti, and then the burst will come instantly. That's how you kill off good players. And you want to make sure your channel focus is always down. This is the most important ground buff. Second optional ground buff you can always use if you have a lot of Magicka left is the cleanse. So, but cleanse costs a lot of Magicka, like 3.4k. So you want to use it to cleanse stuff, but you don't want to spam it always. If you don't have a lot of dots on you, you only have 1 dot on you, you can just leave it on. You don't need to cleanse it. But if you have more than 2 or 3 dots, then you can use cleanse. But channel focus is a must-have because it only costs 700 Magicka, and it gives you so much defensive capabilities and sustain as well. And another tip is, if you stand inside your channel focus like now, I will get like, my resistance is insane, 29k physical and 37k spell resistance. If I move out from the channel, it's only 26k and 34k. So you always need to remember that. If possible, while you're jabbing, you want to jab inside your channel focus, but no matter what, you want to make sure your major buffs are on. Your both of your major ward and major resolve. So you have to recast it every 20 seconds if I'm not mistaken, but preferably you want to cast it a bit more often. Okay, and one more thing is about this skill called Total Dark. So how you want to use Total Dark is, if you are fighting multiple opponents, let's say this guy is the guy that you want to kill in front of you, you tap target him, and then another 2 more guys are smashing on you. You want to try to line of sight and everything, put out your buff, you want to put Total Dark on them, on the guys that you are not focusing. And then you go, then when they are hitting you, you don't need to be too scared of the damage output because they are healing you while they are hitting you. You can see here, they take about 9k magic damage, and you heal you about 8k if they do a direct damage to you. So you can go into jabs if you have like 2 people with total dark hitting on you. You can just heal through it usually, so don't need to be too scared of that. If you want to compare the 2 tip of total dark with Honor of the Dead is about 11k, close to 11k healing. Total dark is about 7.2k. Just now it was about 8k because my 8k plus 8.8k because it was what do you call it, my burning spell with proc, so it would go even higher. So the total dark heal is actually quite significant. The damage is decent as well, 8k damage. I would say it's not bad. Okay, now to the last part of the video, CP. 7 Siphoner, 61 Warlock, 75 Arcanist, 7 Tenacity, Shadow Ward 66, 44 Tumbling, 32 Blast, 48 Elf Bond, 17 Spell Erosion, 49 Elemental Expert, 13 Shattering Blows, 61 Master at Arms, 40 Thermachurch, 72 Ironclad, 31 Resistance, 5 Light Armor Focus, 28 Thick Skin, 49 Hardy, 37 Elemental Defender, and 32 Quick Recovery, and 6 Expert Defender. So that is for the CP. And yeah, I think that's about it for this build. If you have any questions or anything you want to add to this build, if you can actually make it better, just let me know in the comments. I'm open for any suggestion. And yeah, that's about it. And for the Moonhunter build, I am still farming the staff. The moment I get the staff and I can test that build out, I'll let you guys know and let you guys know the result, how good is that build. Yeah, that's all for this video. See you guys in this video, and make sure you throw this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more ESO videos. Okay, bye bye.